All right. Well, we are back with FilmRex Radio here at B-Box. And that smattering of applause you just heard was our very first official guest, Zachary Levi, director of Strongman. And actually, I'm going to be showing Strongman at the FilmRex film series in Park Slope this weekend. And probably by the time you're hearing this, it will have passed and will have gotten out of the slammer or something like that. I don't know. That way these things can go. But the other good news is that coming a week from Friday, September 23rd, you're going to be
the film starts at the Brooklyn Heights Cinema for a week run starting on Friday, September 23rd.
That's fantastic. Ken Lowy is the new owner of the Brooklyn Heights Cinema, and so he's very intent on kind of bringing the venue into be more of an art house sort of destination theater. It's kind of this historically neighborhood type of movie theater where they play pretty much mainstream Hollywood films a couple of weeks late, but now he's sort of really intent on making it more of an art house destination, a la Film Forum or something like that. So Strongman's I think a great choice for that. I saw it some time ago, right when you had just brought it to New York. Actually, it was at the IFC Center, and you were distributing it yourself.
Still am. That part doesn't change.
But this is going to be the first time it's playing in Brooklyn, or?
We did a rooftop.
Yeah,
oh, right, we did a rooftop screening, but yeah, essentially it's the first extended opportunity for anyone in Brooklyn to see it. So
that's great.
Which is good because I think it's the kind of film that the people in Brooklyn enjoy. So.
Mm-hmm. At FilmWax, I'm sorry, at the rooftop, if I remember correctly, there was a bit of a display, was Stanless?
Yeah,
there?
Stan came. We did a stunt afterwards.
Yeah.
It actually wasn't so far away from where we're recording this. It was right down by BAM.
Parking lot?
Well, it wasn't a BAM parking lot because this was a non-sanctioned stunt, I guess you could say. But Stan lay down in the middle of the street, and we drove a truck up onto his chest. So we had about 200 people in the street chanting "Stainless steel, stainless steel." It was fun.
I'm sure he was very pumped.
Well, it was so chaotic. I mean, it was complete chaos. So, yeah.
All the BAM staff had gone home.
Yeah. Well, there was no BAM staff there. I mean, it was old school guerrilla filmmaking kind of event.
Wow. Yes. So he must have been very excited to sort of have all the lavish attention on him.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I mean, it's not his first. It's not the first time he's done that.
Right, that's true.
I mean,
yeah, but with hipsters,
I think Stan's orbit is sort of the sun doesn't worry about all the other solar systems out there. You're in your own one solar system with Stan. It's whether it's hipsters or something else. It's like it probably doesn't make much of a difference. I think he likes everyone. So
yeah, he's a warm guy. This is, again, the Zachary Levi, the director of Strongman I'm talking to. He's going to be at FilmWax this weekend, and I'm not going to get too specific with the time because I think that probably by the time folks are listening to it, we'll have already had our successful screening there. But FilmWax is at the 5th Estate in Park Slope, and then you're going to be, again, the 23rd for hopefully a long engagement at the Brooklyn Heights Cinema. So let's just talk a little bit about the movie, because I would imagine most people that are listening to this might not be familiar with it. First of all, Strongman is your first film?
Well, it's my first feature film, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been making films in some form or another since I was, in single digits, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not single digits, but relatively early. I started making films with friends, but this is my first real film that I would say is a film. So.
Mm-hmm. Where are those films? Those
on shelves,
single
someplace.
digits.
Yeah. I don't know which shelves. But
I smell retrospective.
That's one retrospective I don't think anyone really wants to see.
And is the title of the movie meant to be ironic, do you think?
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, No, I mean, I would actually say it's a film without a lot of irony in it. I mean, it's certainly. I mean, I think that's one of the strengths of the film, really, that it approaches a subject that could be purely ironic, or for some audiences could only be ironic, and does it. I mean, it's certainly aware of the irony it's aware of the nuance and the layers that happen in irony, but it's not ironic in the sense of distancing. You know, there's not the distance of irony in there. So it both it has that element, the sort of the unlayering that can happen in irony, which but it also asks you to be engaged at the same time. And I think that's the difference, you know, between that and say other things that use irony.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who's like in the remotest bit Freudian in their interpretation of things, I mean, definitely he was grappling with his own sense of strength, you know, and his own sense of success and the self-esteem. And for those who are not familiar with it, the story is about Stan Pleshkin?
Pleskin is his.
Pleskin.
You know, it's funny. Like all the reviews often refer to his real name, which is Stan Pleskin, but the film doesn't have it in it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't once use his full name in the whole film.
I know. I think I had to research that myself, and just because it kind of when you realize you think of Stanless Steel, which is how he kind of goes by professionally, and then Stan
and Stan,
just Stan. Yeah.
And it wasn't a super conscious choice in the sense I didn't go through the film and say, okay, there's absolutely no way that it can have his actual name in here. But it was a choice, ultimately. I mean, and that's because the film works on that way for me. I mean, that's what the film is about. It's both something that's very personal as Stan, as a sort of a person that you'd have a relationship, a one-on-one kind of relationship with, but also something that's much bigger too. You know, that has that sort of metaphor, sort of the everyman and Superman kind of combination, I guess. So,
right.
So I think that the universality. Maybe that's the point of it I'm trying to make. Is just that it's interesting that people refer to his actual name, because in some ways I think that makes it more particular than the film makes it. The film is obviously about universal kinds of things.
But Stan is at a point in his life when you're filming the story that he's kind of at that point where maybe his best years are behind him, or he still has the hunger. He's got an appetite for success, for love. He's sort of kind of maybe has seen that he's made choices in his life, and now he's got his life ahead of him and what's left of it. But it seems like he's definitely at a turning point in his life when we pick up when we're watching the movie at that particular time in his life. He's Stanless Steel. He's known as the strongest man in the world at bending steel. I mean, and what I took away from that was like that so much of his strength was in his hands. It was about his hands. Sure, he certainly has brawn. That's clear. But that be able to do what he does is about developing strength in your hand for over years and years.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of his physical strength, I mean that's absolutely true. His extraordinary strength really is in his hands and in his fingers. I mean, It's this weird kind of tendon strength and bone strength in these places that most people just don't have it.
It's funny. I just saw speaking of BAM, I was just there the other night, and I saw Liz Garbus's film, Bobby Fischer Against the World, and
it's about hands too.
Well, there's this funny scene in it where Bobby Fischer, the chess champion of the world champion of chess, he actually at one point he's very in this, I guess it was the 60s and 70s when he was rising, and he was like a real fitness buff, and he well before it became a trendy thing to do, he was working out all the time, and he was really intent on being physically fit as well. I believe that mental fitness and physical fitness were one and the same, and but he was also wanted to work out his hands. He went to like some guy, I forget who, but he wanted to develop his hands, and the reason why is because when he went to meet his Russian opponent Spassky, he wanted to take the hand and like crush the guy, like he was into that. That was anyway. So
that's interesting. I mean, certainly it does sound like there's some similarities. It's certainly in the mental, physical thing. I mean, Stan, when you shake his hand, though, he actually has a very soft handshake grip. Very soft. I mean, intentionally. And a lot of guys in the strength world actually do have the same things true. I mean, there are guys in the strength world, they'll shake their hand and they'll make a point of showing off how strong their grip is. Stan's not one of them.
That's good. For you, you probably had a.
Well, that's part of what obviously.
He was probably hugging you, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of what interested me. I mean, that here was a guy who had this strength in his hands and needed to use it for some things. I mean, and that's what the film's about. I mean, it's like what you can hold on to and what you can't hold on to.
Well, it's a beautiful film. It's extraordinarily poetic, and everyone should go out and see it. The name of the movie is Strong Man. The director is Zachary Levi. Again, we'll be at FilmWax this weekend. And check out that series, FilmWax, at filmwax.com. All the other exciting stuff coming up. But this is... Strong Man is the FilmWax official fall season opening film. And then, again, on the 23rd of September, it will be playing an engagement at the Brooklyn Heights Cinema. So, and I know you'll probably be there for quite a number of Q&As after the screenings, as well as at FilmWax.
Yes.
I'm sure that Ken would make sure that he got that in writing. And did you last thing? Did you approach? Is Stan aware of these screenings? Or
yeah, he is aware. I think he's going to probably come to one of the Brooklyn Heights ones.
Okay, well,
so
definitely want to get that out, and I'll definitely mention it in a on this website, or we'll have to make sure word gets out so as many people can get down there and check it out, because that guy is I'm sure it'd be great to meet in person. Well, thanks for coming out.
My pleasure.
It was great to talk to you, and thanks for being my first movie this season and at my series, and then first guest on the radio show here at B-Box on FilmWax Radio. I really appreciate it. Zachary Levi.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, and good luck with the rest of the series. I think you got good luck with the film series, and good luck with the radio series.
Yeah, I'll need good luck for all the above. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Is that right? Yeah, thanks. Okay. Great. I'm going to continue a little bit.